Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A seismic shift is underway in the global economy, one that is sending shockwaves through boardrooms and governments alike. Germany's automotive giants are making a $660 billion bet on China, a move that could redefine the future of the entire industry. The familiar roar of combustion engines is fading into history, replaced by the silent, futuristic hum of electric motors. Streets that once echoed with the sound of gasoline are now alive with the quiet energy of EVs. German titans are wagering their legacy, their brands, and their future on a partnership with their fiercest competitor, China. It's a high-stakes alliance that could make or break them. While Brussels and Washington talk of de-risking from China, warning of overdependence and strategic vulnerabilities, Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz are doubling down, pouring billions into a market that is both their greatest opportunity and their most daunting existential threat. For them, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about cars, it's about survival, innovation, and a new geopolitical chessboard where every move could tip the balance of power. The automotive industry as we know it is vanishing. Revenue is shifting from traditional manufacturing to battery technology, advanced software, and the emerging circular economy. The rules of the game are being rewritten in real time. China dominates this revolution, controlling critical raw materials, leading the world in EV adoption, and setting the pace for innovation at breakneck speed. For German carmakers, the choice is stark: adapt and collaborate with China, or risk fading into irrelevance as the world races ahead. The decisions made today will not only shape Germany's future, but will also influence the global balance of power for decades to come, determining who leads the next era of mobility. For over a century, German engineering has set the global standard for quality and performance. The automotive sector is the backbone of Germany's economy, built on mastery of the internal combustion engine and a vast network of suppliers. This fortress of innovation seemed unassailable. Until now. The global push for decarbonization and the rise of electric vehicles have exposed a critical vulnerability. The very skills that made Germany a leader are becoming obsolete. The shift to EVs is a revolution, demanding expertise in software and battery chemistry, fields where Germany lags. Years of complacency left German carmakers playing catch-up as new players from Silicon Valley and China rewrote the rules. The legacy that once guaranteed dominance now weighs heavy, forcing a painful re-evaluation of strategy. Survival means embracing radical change, not just incremental improvement. The electric vehicle is redrawing the global automotive map at lightning speed, sending shockwaves through an industry that once seemed unshakable. What was once a slow evolution has become a full-blown revolution, with new players and technologies emerging almost overnight. By 2041, EVs will make up half of all new car sales, upending the old value chain. Batteries and software now matter more than engines. The traditional dominance of combustion engines is fading, replaced by a race for smarter, cleaner, and more connected vehicles. The entire ecosystem from manufacturing to after-sales service is being reimagined. China sits at the heart of this disruption, controlling 75% of the world's battery, metal, refining and dictating terms for any automaker wanting to scale. This dominance gives China unprecedented leverage, shaping not just supply chains, but also the pace of innovation and global standards. For German brands, this means deep reliance on Chinese suppliers and a tough reality. The dream of a European EV supply chain is still distant. The pressure is mounting as they navigate complex logistics and shifting alliances, all while trying to maintain their reputation for quality and engineering. Chinese consumers demand tech-forward vehicles, and local brands like BYD and NIO are outpacing German rivals in features and price. The speed of innovation in China is relentless, with new models and updates arriving faster than ever before, setting new benchmarks for the industry. The fork in the road is clear: seed the world's largest auto market or fundamentally change how they operate. For German automakers, the stakes couldn't be higher as their future relevance depends on bold decisions made today. German automakers are pivoting, establishing R&D in China, hiring local engineers and partnering with Chinese firms to stay relevant. These collaborations are not just strategic, but essential for survival in a rapidly changing landscape. The "in China for China" approach is a radical break from tradition. It signals a willingness to adapt, to localize, and to embrace new ways of thinking in order to compete. Engineering prowess alone is no longer enough. Global collaboration, even with rivals, is now essential. The future belongs to those who can bridge cultures, share knowledge, and innovate together. The electric shock has forced Germany to reinvent itself or risk being left behind. The race is on, and only those willing to transform will shape the next era of mobility. While Europe talks of de-risking, German investment in China is hitting record highs, driven by the auto industry's fight for survival. In 2023, German FDI in China soared to $11.9 billion even as overall EU investment plummeted. This isn't speculation, it's targeted, strategic, and focused on joint ventures, R&D, and partnerships with Chinese tech firms. Volkswagen's $700 million stake in XPeng is a clear admission. To compete, German giants need Chinese innovation. For companies like VW, which sells 40% of its cars in China, losing this market isn't an option. The deeper the investment, the tighter the dependency, and the stronger the lobbying back home for pragmatic, not confrontational, China policy. This financial entanglement is reshaping both corporate strategy and Germany's geopolitical stance. In China for China is now the gospel for Germany's auto giants, marking a dramatic shift from decades of global standardization to a new era of radical localization. The world's largest car market demands not just presence but deep adaptation, tailoring products, technology, and even business models to Chinese tastes and expectations. The old model, one product for the world, is dead. Factories that once churned out global bestsellers now stand silent, reminders of a time when uniformity was king. In China's hyper-competitive market, only localized innovation wins. Success now hinges on understanding local consumers, responding to their rapidly changing demands, and outpacing nimble domestic competitors. Volkswagen's new Hefei hub unites R&D, manufacturing, and procurement to match the China speed of local rivals. It's a bold bet on integration, designed to shrink development cycles and bring new models to market faster than ever before. Empowering local teams and slashing decision times is now essential. German automakers are giving their Chinese operations unprecedented autonomy, trusting local talent to make critical calls on design, features, and technology. Partnerships with Chinese tech firms, like VW with XPeng and Audi with SAIC, are accelerating product development and software innovation. These alliances are crucial for keeping pace with China's digital-first car buyers. These collaborations admit a hard truth: German firms can't do it all themselves. To thrive, they must learn from and lean on their Chinese partners' expertise in software and user experience. But deep localization brings risk, technology transfer, exposure to Chinese policy, and dependence on a single complex market. The stakes are high, and the rules can change overnight. The In China for China strategy is a high-wire act, necessary for growth but fraught with peril. Every step forward must be carefully balanced against the risks of overexposure. It's a pragmatic yet risky path forward, one that will define the future of Germany's auto industry in the world's most important car market. German car makers are caught between commercial necessity and Western politics, walking a tightrope as the EU and US push to de-risk from China. EU anti-subsidy probes and US incentives to localize supply chains clash with Germany's deepening ties to China. This divergence is creating friction within the EU, as Germany's economic interests often conflict with broader geopolitical goals. German automakers warn against tariffs, fearing Chinese retaliation that could devastate their sales. The government's balancing act, acknowledging the need to reduce dependencies while avoiding forceful action, reflects this tension. For automakers, economic engagement is the argument for continued investment. The collision between political de-risking and commercial re-risking will define Europe's future and its relationship with China. German investment in China is increasingly concentrated among a handful of corporate giants. The top 10 investors, led by automakers and chemical firms, now account for 83% of all German FDI in China. For these behemoths, the Chinese market is too big to ignore. Deep integration is their survival strategy. In contrast, many small and medium-sized German firms are pulling back, wary of economic and political risks. They're diversifying into other Asian markets, seeking to reduce exposure to China. This creates a new fault line. Large multinationals push for closer ties, while smaller firms advocate for diversification. Germany's economic relationship with China is now a fragmented landscape. deep dependence for a few, strategic retreat for many. The shift to electric, software-driven vehicles is upending the German workforce, rendering traditional skills obsolete. Mechanical mastery is being replaced by demand for software, battery chemistry, and data science. Companies are racing to retrain workers and attract digital talent, competing with tech giants for the best minds. Germany's vocational system, long focused on mechanical trades, must be overhauled for the digital era. The risk: a hollowed-out industrial workforce and rising unemployment in regions dependent on auto jobs. Success now hinges on reskilling. Innovation alone isn't enough. The human element is the toughest part of this transition. Ensuring workers have a future is both a social imperative and a key to Germany's competitiveness. Germany's $660 billion pivot to China and electric vehicles is a high-stakes gamble with global consequences. The central question: will German giants lead the new era, or become followers reliant on Chinese technology? The success of In China for China models, like VW's partnership with Xpeng, will be a crucial test. Trade tensions could turn investments into stranded assets overnight. The reskilling of Europe's workforce is equally critical. Failure risks social unrest and lost competitiveness. This is about more than cars, it's about adaptation in a world of disruption. Germany's choices offer lessons for all legacy industries facing digital and green revolutions. The road ahead is unwritten. What do you think? Is this deep engagement with China a necessary risk or a dangerous gamble? The debate is just beginning. Your voice matters.